Hi, my name is Ian Brown, and I have decided to start a YouTube channel that gives back to mental health, that gives back to those people who are struggling with mental health. And I personally have struggled with mental health since I was about 21. I had a pretty bad mental break and spent nearly 2 years fighting to stay alive, and found along the way that there were many different diagnoses and many different opinions from doctors about what the issue was. I was diagnosed as clinically depressed with psychosis or psychotic episodes, and then I was diagnosed as bipolar disorder, and over the first 2 years they were trying all kinds of different meds, and quickly discovered that I was needing antipsychotics for psychotic issues, but they were also needing antidepressants for the clinical depression I was in. And it came down to a lot of suffering, a lot of trial and error, a lot of mistakes, and the doctors did everything they could to get the diagnosis right as quickly as they could. But when it comes to mental health issues, you're often struggling to really be accurate in the diagnosis, and so it's kind of a trial and error with meds to know what the issue is. Long story short, I was eventually diagnosed as having bipolar disorder type 2, and it was a very serious struggle to figure out how to get the meds right and how to cope with it. And what came back eventually was that I, in this whole journey, was learning about gratitude, and I was learning that in the midst of severe pain and severe suffering and major struggles with depression and weird thinking or a mind that just didn't want to work right or couldn't work right, and I had severe memory loss in there too. I was learning that God was telling me to say thank you for it, and to really accept that in that hurt, if I could say thank you for the hurt, that I would actually have my pain diminish. And so as I was on a plane ride coming back from Hawaii visiting family, I finally broke in that trial, and I found that for a long time I was very angry and I was very hurt, and I would actually flip out into rages, in part due to the mental illness, but partially just due to being hurt and being very resentful and bitter over what I was going through. And I would rage at God over it, just say, I'm not going to say thank you for my hurt that you've allowed me to sit in, that isn't healing, it is hurting me, and every day suicide is trying to take my life. And on a plane ride back from Hawaii, I actually really broke under pain and gave up and said okay. And I was so hurt by it. I was so hurt and felt betrayed that I was going to say thank you for the hurt I was in. And as I said thank you for it, I realized that my pain diminished actually in that moment. I was feeling a lot healthier in the emotional hurt I was in. And what I've discovered over the last 8 to 9 years with fighting mental health issues, with fighting spiritual issues, is that saying thank you is very powerful to coping with hurt. And in truth, if you are willing to say thank you for everything, including the hurt, including the evil, including the things that come at you that really sit there and say, you're going to be depressed today, you're going to be discouraged, there's going to be suicidal thoughts, there's going to be, whatever it is, if you can stop and say thank you specifically, I'm grateful for the suicidal thoughts, I'm grateful for the depression, I'm grateful for the fear, I'm grateful for the anxiety. It comes back as almost as if you're lying to yourself, but in truth you're not. You're choosing to do the right thing, and it really has a way of taking the evil, taking the hurt, taking the negativity. Can we stop it? And next off ramp. Sorry about that. And really has a way of taking all of that negativity and making it come into a joy forcefully makes it come into contact with love. And as you do that, you realize that love is saying no to the hurt and to the pain, and love is healing it in that moment. And I believe that when you do gratitude, you're obeying God in a way that says you're acknowledging the truth of being joyful or being grateful in everything, and He responds in love to heal. And because of that, I found that gratitude has been very encouraging. And if you are willing to sit in it and really say thank you for the negativity, say thank you for everything that's evil or bad that's happening to you, you'll find that there will be miracles that will show up in how you feel about it and how you cope with it. And although you may not actually feel grateful in the moment that you're saying thank you for it, you'll find that you are actually having a huge impact in making yourself eventually feel it. And so there's an authority within humans that say we have a right to create. And as we choose to sit there and say, I'm grateful for the coronavirus that's killing many people, many Americans, and I'm grateful for the coronavirus that's hurting my loved ones or my friends, or creating fear and might get me sick, might kill me. As soon as you stop and say thank you for it, you rise above it, and the fear starts to dissipate, and love starts to win. And so, and as you sit there saying thank you for it, you'll realize I'm not really thankful for it. I'm not actually feeling gratitude for it, and I'm not actually hopeful in it. It's hurting many people. But if you are willing to do the act, you will start to create the good in it, and God will show up, and in a relationship with you, He'll start to actually change that negativity. And I kid you not, I believe that being grateful for it not only has an impact on you, not only does it increase your immune system, but help you to feel and think better, but I believe that you actually have an impact spiritually in the environment that's struggling with it, with fear. So as you walk into a room that has people fearing the coronavirus, you walk in there with an attitude of gratitude that is quite literally saying no to the fear, and you start to change the environment. And so my encouragement to you is to be willing to consider saying thank you for the fear, and be willing to say thank you for the sins and the evil and the things that are not normal to say thank you for, and see if it makes a difference in your life. I know it's helped keep me alive. I know it's helped keep me fighting in my mental illness and struggle. As I'm sharing this video, I'm on the way down to I'm on my way down to a brain clinic to actually get a brain scan done to see what exactly is going wrong with my bipolar disorder. And so it's just the next step for me for why I'm struggling in this. And so I just encourage you all to practice gratitude, but give it a chance and experiment with it. So thank you for watching this, and I hope you all have taken something away from it that's beneficial.